You might want to think twice before moving to some of Raleigh's most popular suburbs. I know, they look picture perfect online, but behind the new construction, greenway trails, and trendy coffee shops, there are some real surprises most people don't discover until after they've unpacked the boxes. Today, we're breaking down the Raleigh suburbs you may want to avoid in 2026 and why. Some of these might actually shock you. Stick around to the end because one of them can completely change how you see this area. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. When people start exploring the Triangle, it's easy to fall in love. There's charm, southern hospitality, great schools, and that mix of old and new that makes Raleigh so appealing. But what you don't see is in the best suburbs list are the everyday realities that start showing up once you actually live here. The traffic, longer commutes, and the rezoning headaches, or that revitalization for that quiet lifestyle you wanted feels a little too quiet after that first year. So before you fall in love with the marketing photos, let's talk about the suburbs that deserve a closer look before you call the movers. Let's start with Apex. If you've ever Googled best places to live near Raleigh, you've definitely seen Apex topping the list. It's clean, safe, walkable in spots, and full of great schools. But Apex has become a bit of a victim of its own success. Now, what do I mean by that? The very things that made it special are now the things that are making daily life a little bit harder. Traffic has gotten rough. If you're commuting towards Cary, RTP, or downtown, you already know what I mean. NC 55 and US 64 can be backed up during rush hour, and what used to be a simple drive now can eat up some of your morning. Neighborhoods that were once peaceful are now surrounded by construction zones, and the roads just haven't caught up with all the growth. And that small town charm Apex was known for, honestly, some think it's starting to fade. With new subdivisions popping up left and right, steady expansion, and rising prices, Apex is starting to feel more like a mini 2.0 of Cary every year. Home prices have also climbed a lot. Most resale homes are now in the mid to high 500,000s, and if you're eyeing a new construction, it's pretty common to see starting prices in the upper 600,000s and climbing well into the 800,000s or more, especially in those larger amenity-filled communities. Property taxes have gone up as value has increased, and those resort-style neighborhoods with the pools and clubhouses, the HOA fees can easily run $100 to $300 a month, depending on where you buy. You don't really hear a lot of people talking about stormwater issues in Apex, but they're definitely a thing. During heavy rains, some neighborhoods around Beaver Creek and Kelly Road can deal with temporary flooding, and a lot of the newer infill developments just don't have the same drainage capacity because everything's built so much closer together. It's not every neighborhood, but it's enough that locals notice when the storms roll in. Now, on top of that, school boundaries here can shift more than you might expect. Wake County is constantly redrawing lines to keep up with growth, and families sometimes find that their forever home that they bought for a specific school ends up getting reassigned just a few years later. It happens pretty often, especially in the faster growing parts of town. Now, Apex still has a lot of love. It's family friendly, charming, and full of community spirit. But if you're craving slower paced living, the constant growth, traffic, and price creep might wear you down. Spend time there during the week, not just the weekends, and you'll get a real sense of what daily life feels like. Now let's head a little southeast to Garner. On paper, it's a dream location, minutes from downtown Raleigh, full of new amenities and close to major highways. But that same convenience is exactly what's making it a tougher place to love long term. Garner's growing fast, and the infrastructure is playing a serious game of catch up. If you've ever tried getting through the White Oak area during rush hour, you know what I mean. Between commuters heading downtown, big trucks servicing the industrial parks, and new developments opening every month, those roads can get jammed. Add in the constant construction on US 70 and I-40, and your short commute can double without warning. Garner's kind of a patchwork, and that's part of its unique vibe, but it's something buyers should pay attention to. You'll find beautiful new neighborhoods sitting right next to older industrial areas or dated strip malls. So the look and feel of the community can shift pretty quickly from one street to the next. Some of those newer homes are also going up near flood-prone zones, so check the FEMA flood maps before you sign anything is definitely a smart move. And if schools are high on your priority list, keep an eye for overcrowding and boundary changes. Wake County has been shuffling students around to manage growth, and sometimes those changes happen faster than families expect. That being said, Garner's got a lot of heart. The people are welcoming, there are tons of local events, and you're never far from downtown. Just know that if you're sensitive to noise, traffic, or constant development, you might feel that squeeze more here than you'd expect. Now let's swing southwest to Holly Springs and Fuquay-Varina. These two suburbs are exploding in popularity, and I get it. They're clean, newer, and full of parks, breweries, and family-friendly fun. They've become the go-to for people who want that balance between space and convenience. But they're also growing so fast that balance is starting to tip. Let's talk about traffic, because in Holly Springs and Fuquay-Varina, it can be no joke. If you've driven down Holly Springs Road, Main Street in Fuquay, or NC 55, you know exactly what I mean. It feels like every 10 minutes you hit another construction zone or a backed up intersection. The population boom happened fast, but what about the infrastructure? It's still trying to catch up. That peaceful back road you fell in love with when you toured homes, yeah, it's probably lined with orange cones now. And then there's the loss of open space. Those beautiful rolling fields and wooded backdrops that gave these towns so much character are starting to disappear. Subdivisions and shopping centers are going up everywhere. And if you're buying a new home for the view or a little privacy, there's a pretty good chance you'll be watching new rooftops rise behind your fence within a year or so. Water and sewer capacity is one of those quiet concerns that doesn't always make the headlines, but it does matter. Both Holly Springs and Fuquay-Varina are racing to expand their systems to keep up with growth. And recent bond votes to fund those improvements means property taxes will likely inch up over time. So if you're on a tight budget, it's smart to remember that what feels affordable today could cost more to maintain down the road. Culturally, both towns are still figuring out exactly who they want to be. There's plenty happening here during the day: parks, restaurants, family events, festivals, but nightlife is still pretty limited. If you love live music, late dinners, or a good cocktail spot that stays open past 9, you're probably still hopping in the car and heading over to Raleigh or Cary for that. With that said, these are great towns with strong communities, beautiful homes, and a ton of potential. The key is knowing what you're signing up for. They're definitely changing fast, so think ahead. What feels exciting today might feel congested or overbuilt 5 years from now. Now let's head north to Wake Forest. This one's close to my heart because it's such a charming place, but it's also one of the clearest examples of how growth can become a double-edged sword. Wake Forest used to be Raleigh's quiet, historic retreat. These days, it's booming. Downtown still has that storybook vibe with boutique shops and local restaurants, but step a few miles out and you'll see construction in every direction. Capitol Boulevard is jammed. During rush hour, and what was once a peaceful small-town drive now feels like a slow crawl of brake lights and traffic lights. Home prices have soared right along with the population. That cozy 3-bedroom that used to go for $350,000 is now easily in the mid $500,000s. And neighborhoods like Heritage or Holding Village are pricing out a lot of first-time buyers. The resale market is competitive, and new builds aren't that budget-friendly option that they used to be. The school situation in Wake Forest really mirrors that growth that's happening. Redistricting battles are pretty constant. Families move in certain zones for those top-rated schools, and then sometimes just a year or two later, they find out their child's school assignment has changed. It catches a lot of people off guard, especially relocation buyers who thought they had it all mapped out. And then there are the stormwater issues, particularly around Richland Creek and Smith Creek. When those heavy rains hit, some neighborhoods deal with flooding in yards, along with greenways and on local streets. Now again, it's not every neighborhood, but it's enough that even longtime residents are starting to feel the strain. Still, Wake Forest has a wonderful community and a strong sense of pride. It's not a suburb to write off. It's just one that's evolving faster than its roads, utilities, and schools can handle. If you're considering moving there, budget for more time, higher cost, and some patience as the town continues to catch up. And that brings us to Zebulon. This one's the sleeper pick, and it's where a lot of people are turning now that the inner suburbs have priced them out. On the surface, it looks like a win. More space, bigger yards, and home prices that are still starting under $400,000. But before you get too excited, there are some realities that you need to know. First is distance. Zebulon is further out than most realize. You're looking around a 40-minute to downtown Raleigh on a good day. And that's if traffic on 264 is light. Once you add in morning rush hour or a single fender bender, that drive gets long fast. If you're commuting daily, it can be a grind. Then there's the infrastructure gap, and this one's a big one. Development in Zebulon is booming, but services are still trying to catch up. Sidewalks, broadband, and even basic utilities in some areas are a step behind the pace of growth. New schools are being built, but many are already at or near capacity the day they open. That small town charm Zebulon's known for, it definitely comes with growing pains. Sometimes literally right out your door with months of construction noise and as new neighborhoods and roads are going in. You'll also want to pay close attention to where these homes are being built. A lot of new developments are going up on old farmland, and that can create drainage issues. After heavy rains, low-lying lots can flood pretty easily if the grading isn't right. And because Zebulon is still a bit more rural, you'll find longer emergency responsive times and fewer hospitals close by, which is something to keep in mind if quick access to services is a priority. This is a town that's clearly growing fast, but it still has some maturing to do. But here's the thing, Zebulon's potential is huge. It's affordable, friendly, and full of wide open opportunity. If you value space and don't mind the drive, you might just love it. Just be realistic. It's not Cary or Apex yet, and that's both the charm and the challenge. Now, across all these suburbs, there's a bigger story happening, and this is what most people miss. Raleigh's growth is off the charts. Everyone wants to be here, and the ripple effect is touching every corner of the metro. But that growth comes with friction. Let's be real, infrastructure in the triangle is stretched thin. The roads are clogged, utilities are under pressure, and water and sewer expansions are constantly playing catch up with all the new rooftops going up. Drive almost anywhere during rush hour and you'll feel it. And as cities work to fund the improvements they probably should have built years ago, property taxes are quietly creeping up. Between rising home values and new bond measures to pay for infrastructure, what felt affordable a few years ago is starting to feel a little heavier on the budget today. Private investors are also reshaping the housing market. Large corporations now own a huge share of rental homes and apartments, which drives up both rent and home prices. That's squeezing middle-income buyers and changing who can actually afford to live in certain suburbs. And then there's the climate piece, which a lot of people overlook. Summers in the Triangle are getting hotter. We're seeing more 95-degree days, stronger heat waves, and neighborhoods with little tree cover feel it the most. Pair that with more flash floods from intense storms and longer drought stretches that crack foundations and dry out yards, and you start to see why climate really matters when you're buying here. If you're looking at new construction, especially in lower lying areas, pay close attention to the stormwater design. Neighborhoods without good grading, drainage systems, or shade can feel the impact of these changes first. And sometimes it shows up as unexpected maintenance costs a year or two after you move in. Schools are another big wild card here in the Triangle. With rapid population growth, Wake County is constantly redrawing maps, adding modular classrooms to handle overflow, and juggling ongoing teacher shortages. So if having a specific school is a deal breaker for you, make sure you double check the current assignment plan before you fall in love with a house, because those lines can change, and they do. And even beyond schools, the culture of growth is shifting. Many towns are wrestling with how much density is too much. Some are slowing down approvals to preserve that small town feel, while others are raising taxes and impact fees to fund infrastructure and keep up with the demand. That tension between growth and preservation is going to shape what living in the Triangle looks like for years to come. So, what should you do if you're planning a move in 2026? First of all, don't panic. Just stay informed. Ask deeper questions, drive the commute during rush hour, talk to locals about flood-prone areas, and read city council updates or bond proposals to see where infrastructure money is going. And if you're buying in a brand new neighborhood, find out how soon the city plans to add schools, widen roads, or improve utilities. Every suburb has its perks. Apex has top-rated schools and a beautiful downtown. Garner, close to everything. Holly Springs and Fuquay-Varina have that community spirit people love. Wake Forest is polished and full of charm. And Zebulon still has room to breathe. But each also has real challenges that could change how happy you are in the long term. So what's my advice? Don't just chase the hype, chase the fit. Look for places planning responsibly, balancing growth with infrastructure, and keeping transparency front and center. Those are the towns that hold their value and protect your sanity. You've now seen the 5 Raleigh suburbs that might look incredible on Instagram, but come with serious growing pains underneath the surface. If you're thinking about relocating, I'd love to know which suburb surprised you most. Drop it here in the comments. I read every single one because your experiences and perspectives help others thinking about moving here too. And remember, that suburb I teased earlier, the one everyone's buzzing about, but might secretly become the biggest relocation regret of the decade? That's where we're headed next, so make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell, and join me in the next video before you make your move. My family and I relocated here 7 years ago from California, and now we love helping other families navigate through the relocation process to find their new way home. If you're thinking about making North Carolina your home, I'd love to be part of your journey. My contact information's right here on the screen. Call, text, or email me anytime. And if you'd like a free copy of our ultimate relocation guide to Raleigh, North Carolina, or one of our other free resources, just click the link in the description. But if you're still in research mode, no pressure. You can keep exploring with us. Just hit that subscribe button and check out our Living in Raleigh NC playlist right here. We've got neighborhood tours, tips for relocation, and the kind of insider information you won't get from a brochure. Whichever stage you're in, we're just glad you're here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.